All right, I've had a few days to reflect on our lovely Maple Leafs. Here we go. So first of all, it's very possible that Larry Tannenbaum, the Leafs majority owner, doesn't even care about the Leafs winning because at the end of the day, they're still going to sell corned beef sandwiches for $43 at the Scotiabank Center. And he does own the Raptors, NBA champions. So it's possible he doesn't even care about what happens with the Leafs. But if he does, I would really hope that he'll be sitting down with Kyle Dubas and Brendan Shanahan as soon as possible and saying, okay, fellas, okay, before the draft starts and anything else, tell me why it is you think you deserve to keep your jobs, okay? Because it's become quite evident at this point that Kyle Dubas, with Brendan Shanahan sitting shotgun, drove the Ferrari out of the dealership. They went through every single red light they could on the way to driving it off a cliff. And for the life of me, I never understand how Kyle Dubas was given the keys to this Ferrari at 32 years old with zero NHL GM experience in favor of NHL GM legend mastermind Lou Lamoriello. It paralyzes me with anger to this day that happened. And I'd love some answers. I think all Leaf Nation, we'd all love an answer on how that happened. Why was that decision made? Okay? I've got a hunch. It's just a hunch, just a gut feeling. I got no proof or anything. But I think that Lou Lamoriello did not want to pursue John Tavares in free agency because he knew that Johnny T was an expiring asset and he was just not going to be worth the squeeze. Okay? And I hate to say it, Leaf Nation, we kind of know it, but he's kind of right. He's kind of right a little bit, okay? Elite players do not miss wide open nets in elimination games, okay? And look at the Islanders. I mean, they haven't missed a beat. They're still playing. They're doing just dandy without their franchise captain, okay? So I think Lamoriello saw that going after Tavares might not have been the smartest move, and Shanahan and the rest of the MLSE team said, no, you know what? We want to go after him because it'll be good for business. We'll sell more bobbleheads and we can sell the dream to young kids here in Toronto that maybe one day you can grow up and play in the NHL and come home and play for the Leafs like Johnny T. And of course, he's a good player as well. Okay. But I think maybe Lamoriello was given an ultimatum and said, if you don't want to pursue Johnny T, we're going to let this kid do your job. Okay. So that might have been what happened. Lou Lamoriello, by the way, if it wasn't for him, Jonathan Bernier would still be in net for us and not Freddie Anderson. But anyways, besides the point. So Tavares comes in and, they put all the emphasis on paying him and taking care of him before they took care of what was really important, and that was all the young kids and all their contracts, okay? I think maybe some guys felt a little bit slighted. Maybe it irked some guys the wrong way that, the team was doing well, and then all of a sudden, no, our savior is over here, John Tavares. We're going to take care of him first before we take care of you guys, okay? And, you give him the captaincy as well. I think that might have irked some guys the wrong way as well, potentially, and a lot of fans it did, including myself, that you give the captain to a guy that's never played a game in your team's uniform, and, again, I hate to say it, is he really even a proven leader? I mean, the Islanders won nothing. He's never won any major individual awards or whatever. So why was it a foregone conclusion that Tavares got the seat? Should have been Morgan Riley. Okay? Morgan Riley wears his heart on his goddamn sleeve, never takes a shift off, and it drags our horrible decor to looking somewhat respectable some nights. Okay? So just everything with how this happened with Tavares coming in, I think it started a shitstorm, as Jim Leahy would say. And it also kind of triggered a dick measuring contest with the rest of the core players who were saying, oh, okay, if Tavares is worth that much money, this is what I'm worth, okay? But the problem is Tavares got grossly overpaid. He's maybe not even a top 25 player in the league at this point, in my opinion. So that triggered all these other guys getting overpaid, okay? Mitch Marner, sick player, don't get me wrong, but he's overrated and overpaid. I don't give a shit what his zone entry analytics are or whatever. Never mind all that, okay? Analytics do not measure heart, doesn't measure will to win, doesn't measure character, Okay, this is not NHL 20 be a GM mode. I can think of at least 15 players in the NHL I'd rather have on my team for a playoff run than Mitch Marner. Okay, if anyone wants to argue with me about this, DM me. I'll give you the list. Okay, so Mitch Marner, overvalued, overpaid. Willie Nylander, extremely overvalued and overpaid. Like, oh my God. Willie Nylander floats around like a goddamn fairy. He gives zero fucks. He plays 0D. Barely scores 30 goals in the regular season. He belongs in the KHL. He belongs, in my opinion. And then you have Austin Matthews, who I got nothing obviously to say about. AM34. He's a god. Point per game player in the playoffs in his 4 years here in Toronto. That's enough said right there. Yeah, he takes some games off during the regular season here and there, but that's okay because he's probably the second best player in the league behind McDavid. Okay? But by the way, Dubas still found a way to fuck that contract up because he only gave him 5 years. So it'll be really interesting to see what that courtship's going to look like when he's just getting close to his free agent period. So you have these four guys that the team was built around, the core four, and really it should have been the core five, but Kyle Dubas let Nazem Kadri go for nothing like a fart in the wind. So, and that was the worst move that he's made in his tenure here, I think. So you have these four guys that the team was built around and really focused on, and of these four, three of them are overrated and overpaid. Some more than others, but definitely all three, with the exception of Matthews, overrated, overpaid, or overvalued. Okay? And obviously what happens now is you handcuff the rest of the team, you can't build properly because the cap is screwed, and you put too much faith in these four guys to get the job done, and they clearly can't. They clearly can't. So, where do you go from here? Well, I mean, obviously there's some tough decisions that got to be made. I don't really know what those are. I haven't really thought about what the Leafs could do to get themselves out of this ditch, other than that conversation starting with Larry Tannenbaum and Kyle Dubas and Brendan Shanahan. I do know this though, okay? At this present moment in time, it's another heartbreak. It's another first-round loss, another first-round exit, disappointment, whatever. And every single team in the Eastern Conference that's better than the Leafs is using their dressing room, their home dressing room, like it's a town bicycle. Okay? So our room is tainted forever, kind of like this era of Leaf hockey, in my opinion. So we'll see. Guys, thanks for watching to the end. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And go Leafs, go.